Look at this glorious sunrise. Look, it's all grey. We got one little bit of light and the sun is rising. Isn't that amazing? That's about what it's going to be like for today. But you never know what delights are prepared for us. We do our calculations and other delights can be prepared for us beyond our wildest dreams. How can we know? We walk by faith and by hope. So let's get surprised. Maybe the teacher starts off the year and the kids seem to be very dull. What's this year going to be like in this classroom? But there are always surprises. So let's just enjoy how dull it is today and see what our surprise will be today. And there's always one very big solution. If there's no sunrise today, then you can be the sunrise in your family. Your face, your eyes. Your life. You can be the sunrise. I really don't see physically where there's an opening in the cloud, especially where the sun is positioned right now. I really don't see it. So we might be surprised. How many days in life, in family life, in work life, that are very dull, very normal, boring, nothing interesting going on, not even in the whole country. There's nothing on the news. Nothing is happening. We're expecting a rain tomorrow. That's the forecast. I didn't check what forecast position is right now. This morning I woke up just on time to get ready to come out to find that there's no sunrise. But there was a big sun rising today in the gospel story. And actually just here in Capernaum, which we won't be able to see right now. I can barely make out the Mount of Beatitudes just right here over the outdoor altar. We have the Mount, oh, you can see it too on the screen. There you have it now, it's right in the center of the screen. And then over to the right of there, about halfway to the end of the screen, there's Capernaum. You can't see it, but it's behind the bushes there at the edge of the water. And here's our amazing sunrise again. Right there, right there. That's the red of our sunrise this morning. You see all the yellow, all that sea of flower, blooms, blossoms. Could you tell where there's water at Mount Arbel? Well, you see that line of trees? They couldn't live without water. So the people in the know say that there's water coming down there. A stream of water. I wonder if that's the water that reaches our ritual baths or if it's a different water. Probably a different water that's more external. It's probably coming from the mountain. It's a little chillier today than it was yesterday. And with the additional breeze, it feels like that, but it's not chilly like you have it in New England or in Canada. So all these flowers here, they're almost as tall as, I guess they're almost up to my eye. Yeah, I'm still taller than all of them. The highest ones are right here. And they're almost 6 feet tall. Or about 6 feet tall. We'll keep our eye on the cloud to see if there's any little peephole when the sun will wink at us. This water is coming from our ritual baths, can you imagine? All the time. It's water we pump out. And then it flows down here. It's a lot of water to be pumping all the time. Soda doesn't realize we need to keep walking here in our live stream. These creepers are still here killing this tree. Got some campers here. So we stop here for a moment just to, there's a fisherman down here. Down here beyond, just down to the level of that blue cover down there. He was here yesterday as well. But he wasn't included in our live stream. He's fishing with lines. So today's reading, the first reading is from Isaiah, towards the very end of the book, Isaiah 65. What a beautiful line for us. Thus says the Lord, Lo, I am about to create new heavens and a new earth. I am about to create new heavens and a new earth. The things of the past shall not be remembered or come to mind. Instead, there shall always be rejoicing and happiness in what I create. Another time, Jesus says that the kingdom of heaven is like a mother who has her new baby just born, and she no longer remembers the pains, but rejoices in her new baby. Lo, I am about to create new heavens and a new earth. The things of the past will not be remembered or come to mind. Excuse me. Maybe we can go down closer here to the water. And that's Tiberias there in the distance. Lo, I'm about to create new heavens and a new earth. I'm not sure if you remember that very, very moving scene in the Passion of the Christ when Jesus meets his Blessed Mother. And that's the line he says to her. It's also in the book of Revelation. I make all things new. For I create Jerusalem to be a joy, and its people to be a delight. I will rejoice in Jerusalem and exult in my people. No longer shall the sound of weeping be heard there. No longer shall there be in it an infant who lives but a few days, or an old man who does not round out his full lifetime. He dies a mere youth who reaches but 100 years. And in the psalm, I will praise you, Lord, for you have rescued me. You did not let my enemies rejoice over me. O Lord, you brought me up from the netherworld. You preserved me from among those going down into the pit. Seek good and not evil. That's the verse before the gospel. So that you may live, and the Lord will be with you. And in the Gospel, we're with John's Gospel, chapter 4, and we have the royal official in Capernaum. And you see, Tiberias is the seat of power in Galilee, made by Herod the Great in the year 19 as capital. And we know that there's a grouping of people, like a party of people, an affiliation of people called the Herodians. And here is a royal official. The Herods are in power because of the Romans. So a royal here, I presume, without claiming to be an expert or exegete on the issue, is indicating then a Herodian party member who has a position of authority in Capernaum. And you remember how the Herodians and the Pharisees banded together, and they weren't really good bedfellows, as the expression goes. They had their own enmities and divisions. Well, here we have our fisherman. He wants me to come over here. So we'll be coming back afterwards to our I think I know this guy. Shidur, hi. Oh, maybe he has a fish. Tov. Boker Tov. Ma shlomcha. אני ראיתי אותה אתמול, אבל לא היה פה אחרי הסרט אתמול. Wow. 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 He might still get back in the water. So you saw a live catch this morning. Wow. Wow. Sorry, people. I thought he was lost. He's gone. Ooh, oh, look at this. Look at the smile. Wow. אני משתער מאוד. אתה רצה לקחת אותו. For sport. For sport. כמה קילו? 6.5. 6.5 kilo fish. Is a dog? Sorry, I didn't hear you well. Crab? No. Carp. It's a carp fish. Okay, excellent. Well, we saw a live carp fish out of the Sea of Galilee this morning. תודה רבה. שם שלו? שם פרטי? Yuri. This is Yuri. You remember Yuri Gagarin? He went to space when I was a child. תודה רבה. מחר, עוד פעם. So he got one yesterday morning as well. So he has his 6 lines out here and his little tent. I saw him yesterday morning, but I walked behind him because he was out when I was going down, and I don't think I had started shooting yet. And then that's lovely, isn't it? He even called us over to see that fish. Because I was going to walk by him respectfully, and I do recognize him now, obviously, because we had actually talked a couple of times when he was here a few weeks ago. Very good. תודה רבה. So there was one of our surprises. When did we see a fish like that before? You know, it can be a grey morning, but there's always nice surprises. I wonder if the YouTube version of this morning's Stroll will pick up the carp as the cover picture. You know, the YouTube shots are always chosen by YouTube, and the Facebook shot is always the first thing I shoot, so I don't have much choice in determining which image is on the cover of the video you see as soon as you get to it. So let's see what will happen today if YouTube will pick that up as the cover. It just might. And thank you all of you who have been subscribing to the YouTube channel, sharing it, I'm sure, with some friends who don't have Facebook so they can enjoy this time. And here we have more life. We're close to the cows. They're grazing just here, I notice. Let's notice this here. There are 3 cows right here. There are 3 cattle, I'm sure they're cows. This farmer has primarily cows here. And I've met one bull once. Don't see any calves at the moment. Oh, there's the sun. So now there's no cloud to cover it. So we have the sunrise again. Here we go. So we were with the Capernaum Royal official before we saw the carp fish, and its servant is sick, or that his son, it says there in the text. I'm walking now, so you have to tell me. And and this son rises. He was sick. And imagine he goes all the way from Capernaum to Cana in Galilee, because Jesus has come back to Cana and the word has spread. That's interesting, isn't it? How the word was spreading when Jesus was moving. And people were sharing how he's back in Galilee. And he was in Cana where that miracle was, of the water turning into wine. At the very beginning of John's Gospel, John chapter 2. And now Jesus is back in Galilee again after being in Samaria. And the official himself goes to meet Jesus. Imagine how Jesus was already such an attraction, such a personality. And he went because he wanted his servant cured. You know, the lengths people go to. Oh, there's another guy here. I wonder what he's doing. Is he fishing? I don't want to intrude too much. Doesn't look like he's fishing. Just seems to be here. Good morning.
How are
Nushkurala. Makore. זה יפה מאוד. And Jesus tests his faith. Just imagine he went all the way from here to Cana. You know, I'm not sure. That's a mighty day's walk. Because it's almost Nazareth, so it's more like 2 days, you know. And if he did it in 1 day, he was walking a long, long time. And can you imagine when he's going on the way there and he's worried about the servant he must have treasured very much? It's wonderful when people who employ others or have other relationships with them besides family, like neighbors, or sometimes just hear about them. I know one man here who went to Turkey when there was an earthquake to provide relief, part of a relief intervention. And he got injured in Turkey at the relief intervention. And he was a man in his very mature years. You know, he has a lot of grandchildren now. And that happened a few years ago. And people go to great lengths to help others in need. And what a great way when an employer has that love for his employees. The word used is servant. So it's not exactly the same as today, and I would even say that normally today employees would have greater respect than the servant would have, but obviously in this case we see that there's a very personal relationship. And it's a structured, tiered society, different social levels, and this guy, who is much higher up, is walking from Capernaum to Cana to request a healing favor from Jesus to overcome this illness. What people are ready to do for the people they care for. And how that heart grows and grows and grows. All the people who start hospitals, who go to nurse the sick, to help the poor. And so many religious orders have started from that effort. Basically all of them, they have all started from reaching out to help the poor. Especially in the 19th century, there was tremendous poverty and difficulties in the wake of the Industrial Revolution. A lot of human casualty falling through the cracks of a very intense, competitive system which led to exploitation of people. It really wasn't people falling through the cracks, it was just a whole movement of people into industrial complexes, living in squalor, in great difficulty, working very long hours. We know the stories back in the 1800s, the mid-1800s, into the late 1800s. And then there were many who went to help them, to rescue them, to advocate for them. And here we have the royal official going to advocate for his servant before Jesus. And Jesus tests his faith. Isn't that amazing? Because Jesus realized he already has faith. But now his faith can grow more. It's like a coach gets a great kid, comes on the team, and he tests the kid more. He demands more from him. Like a good teacher. And Jesus brings out more faith, and this man responds. This man responds, and his faith grows. The expression of his faith grows. It blooms, it blossoms. And we're still blessed today from that faith. And we're walking not too far from where he walked, because we're between Capernaum and Cana. He would probably have gone through here behind Mount Arbel and Wadi Hammam. I'm not in the best place to show it to you now, but he'd have tried to make good tracks to get to Jesus. And this man had the servant in his heart. And he bursts out. Let's open up that word here. I'm walking, so give me a second here and I'll take it out. Because I think we need to see those words. We need to see these words. It's interesting also the geographical detail that John gives. When he heard that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and asked him to come down to heal his son, because Capernaum is on the Sea of Galilee, which is 200 meters below sea level. And if he went to Nazareth, he had to go much higher than these hills, because when you're coming in from Nazareth and Cana, these hills are high for our perspective, but Nazareth and Cana are above that level. Come down and heal my child. Wow, so it's his child. What is this? Whose son was ill? It's his son, because there's another account of one who had a servant. This is his son. Come down and heal my child who was near death. Come down and heal. Come down before my child dies. A bit like Jairus, you know. Jesus said to him, you may go, your son will live. And this is another test as well, because Jesus just said it. And now the guy has to believe that it's happening. While the man was on his way back, it says his slaves met him and told him that his boy would live. He asked them when he began to recover. They told him the fever left him yesterday about 1 PM. The father realized that just at that time Jesus had said to him, your son will live. And he and his whole household came to believe. And John comments that this was the second sign Jesus did when he came to Galilee from Judea. So it's early in Jesus' public life. I got a request to continue here further down, but I think I'm way over my time already today, so we'll do that another day, God willing. Somebody said to me, these are oleander flowers, one of our former volunteers. I think somebody told me this before, but I forgot, you know. Go easy on me, people, I don't remember all these things. What's important is that we remember the story of the Gospels and the love of God poured out to brighten our days, to overcome the foggy, the boring, the routine, the grey, where we thought we wouldn't have any surprise. And the Lord comes and fills us with many surprises. And you are the surprise for your family today. Some little thing you can do to surprise your family in the grey and the boring or the normal, the unexciting. You are the sunrise in your family. God bless you. See you later, alligators. It's great to do this little exercise in the morning, or for nighttime for all of you there in the west coast of the US of A, North America, Canada, Mexico, lindo y bonito. God bless you all.